He made more or less the same point. He did 5 Sunday talk show appearances, excluding Fox News. He's boycotting us, I guess, or at least chose not to put us in this rotation. And the White House has said that having made his important speech on race during the presidential campaign, Mr. Obama will not be making another one. But should he? Here to talk about everything from race to Acorn to health care and Coulter, syndicated columnist and constitutional law attorney, and Columbia University professor and Fox News contributor Marc Lamont Hill. I'll take gentleman first in this case. You know, on Acorn, Mark, I want to feel sorry for them. I love that they're doing the hard work of community organizing. Yeah. I mean, I come from the streets and I know exactly how difficult it is. But either they are stinking corrupt or dumbasses. What is it?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Even if they're not corrupt, they're so dysfunctional and they have so little control over what goes on the individual branches that they need to be torn apart. They need to be defunded. I mean, what we saw on that videotape is indefensible. I mean, I defend a lot of stuff on the left, but it's indefensible. Child prostitution, the whole performance artist thing. While funny, it's sad. You know, this has to be something we respond to, but I think your point about constitutionality is important. I disagree with the governor on this. You can't sidestep the Constitution. We're a nation of laws, and if nothing has been done that's illegal based on the procedures, then we can't just defund them. But we do need an aggressive investigation, and Obama and Pelosi and Reid need to be leading the charge on this.
Well, let me ask the constitutional legal scholar about that.
I was hoping we'd get to this.
What about Article 1, Section 9?
I'm so happy that liberals are interested in looking at the Constitution now, and I would like to point out that there is nothing in the Constitution that allows Congress to fund Acorn. So let's start with that one right there.
Well, there's statutes that enable them. I mean, there's plenty.
No. You've already thrown the Constitution out, and this is not a bill of attainder because it is not punishment not to get a contract from the federal government. Otherwise, there's a bill of attainder against
funding. This is punishment.
Yeah, okay. Then it's a bill of attainder against me because the government isn't giving me anything.
Humor me for a second. The bills are unconstitutional. Should they have passed them anyway? Should the president sign it anyway?
No, but the bill I'm talking about being unconstitutional is the one that takes my money and sends it to Acorn under no provision permitted to
Remember when
Congress
Dick Cheney was asked whether he supported even those acts by the CIA interrogators who went beyond the specific imperative, and he said yes. Are you saying that even if it goes beyond the parameters of the United States Constitution, you say
I am saying the original act of funding Acorn is what's unconstitutional, and even if Acorn were involved in interstate commerce or, I don't know, the post office or something, and there were some constitutional basis for funding Acorn, to defund it when Congress finds out it's corrupt isn't punishment.
Well, I disagree. I think that it is unconstitutional, but I agree with Professor Hill in the extent that Acorn is way dysfunctional and must be dismantled now. They've got to start all over again. I have much more. In the issue of race, let's talk about race now. Carter, who has said some things that are very controversial, including the comparing Israel to apartheid, but he has not been that vocal on many issues. He spoke out on race. Bill Cosby has been, I think he's the darling of the conservatives in many ways, so he's been very measured. And yet both of them now say that institutionalized racism is a factor in this huge upswell of populist outrage against Barack Obama. What do you say?
Well, the headlines I saw on what Cosby said, maybe you can play the tape and maybe I was wrong, but then I heard what he actually said, and it was nothing close to what Jimmy Carter said. So let's concentrate on Jimmy Carter because I think we can't talk about him enough. He is getting to be like Elizabeth Taylor. He's just too big to ignore, but you're just embarrassed watching him. I mean, nobody hears him say something and says, oh, Jimmy Carter is taking a morally self-righteous pose? He never does that. He does it every 6 minutes. And I have to point out, because the media really didn't point this out, the very same day he's accusing Joe Wilson of racism, Osama bin Laden releases a tape recommending 2 of Jimmy Carter's books.
First 30 seconds on this side. Go.
Well, no, I mean, I happen to think Jimmy Carter was courageous for this, and I think he stood up and did the exact right thing. I agree. Bill Cosby was something else. And Bill Cosby, it's amazing to me that he sees racism in Obama, but not for poor black people. If I had an issue, though, my biggest issue here is that Jimmy Carter, or rather,
his biggest issue coming up right after this short commercial.
That's racism.
We'll be right back.
That was racism.
Professor Marc Lamont Hill was saying about Jimmy Carter's support for the thesis that Barack Obama's problems are based in race?
First of all, I think he's right.
Not that he's courageous.
Yeah, not that everybody who disagrees with Obama is. There's plenty of reasons to disagree with Obama that don't make you a racist. But going to the town halls, listening to some of the language, even watching Wilson go from being like a political third stringer to being like this rock star and getting all the street cred with racists, it suggests that there's something going on here. But then there's the question of, is it politically wise? And it seems like whenever Obama tries to get some headway on health care, something racial happens, whether it's Gates, whether it's this. I mean, if he called Kanye West a jackass, I can't imagine what he called Jimmy Carter the other night. Because this puts him on the defensive.
Kanye West was a jackass.
Absolutely.
But you think he used even stronger language than Jimmy Carter?
I hope he did.
Shut up,
I hope he did. Because whenever Obama has to talk about race, and whenever people remember that he's black, the polls go down, the ratings go down, and he's on the defensive. That's not a good place to be.
Every time they remember I'm Latino, they bring up some kid wading across the Rio Grande River. But that's another issue. But here you have a situation. She brings up Moscone's assassination, Harvey Milk's assassination. You have, let me make this point and I'll get your reaction to this first. I believe it is absolutely malignantly irresponsible to allow armed people, even if the local ordinance permits, anywhere near the President of the United States. I think they are slandering the Second Amendment to the Constitution.
Okay, just quickly, Harvey Milk was killed by a Democrat. Just want to get that point in quickly. Because all political violence is committed by the left in this country. And so you want these Tea Parties to be as safe as post offices and public schools, where people aren't allowed to be armed.
So that's a different argument. Are you saying you do not oppose people carrying weapons within range of the President of the United States?
John Lott has proved over and over again, more guns, less crime.
So you believe that people should carry long guns with telescopic sights within range of the President of the United States? Oh,
no, they're never within range of the President of the United States. The Tea Parties have been offside.
I think that's absolutely insane.
I think
no, but those have been, you said Tea Parties, then you just switched it to, and you're standing right next to Obama. That isn't the question. The question is that the Tea Parties
stand outside where the President is speaking.
No, that was always misportrayed in the media. The Tea Party was in the same town.
I'm not blaming Tea Party protesters. I think that people that bring guns around the President of the United States should be arrested.
No, but they aren't.
And here's where we get fuzzy, because we can't have it both ways. We can't support the Constitution when it fits what we want. If it's legal, then they should be able to do it. I think it's disgusting, and I think it's terrible.
If it's not illegal, it should be.
Well, that's a different issue. That's a different issue.
Look, not even the President. At my speeches, people aren't allowed to bring guns in.
Thank goodness.
By the way, I'm more likely to be shot than the President.
How about custard
pies? Not anymore. There is one person who's allowed to bring a gun to my speeches, my bodyguard.
We need to change this law.
That's a completely different
I'll tell you something. If the Black Panthers showed up at a Bush speech, they would not be allowed to stand there at any distance, even with a cap gun. So let's not pretend that this is about the Constitution.
But we're all agreeing on that. We're talking about town halls in places where people are allowed to carry guns.
I think it's still
disgusting, but it's legal.
Inappropriate. It's inappropriate. Maybe it's inappropriate. It should be illegal. I want to thank you both. We'll continue this discussion tomorrow night.